Okay, so today we're doing something a little bit different. I don't really know, I suppose like the rest of my life, how this is going to end up. So I keep suffering from burnout, which I know we've had this conversation, and social media can be such a nice place in like connecting people and having these conversations. And you reached out to me. And there was just a lot of synergy, wasn't there?
I'll tell you what, your message completely called me because you weren't asking for someone like me at all. You said that you were looking for someone like a gut nutritionist, you were looking for someone, I think it was a ready meal, wasn't it? You wanted a healthy
meal for it, yes.
And I was a bit, she's like, you said, healthy eating, just there's so much information, it's so overcomplicated, I'm overwhelmed. And I just felt, I'm so compelled to tell you, like, actually, how you can kind of resolve it. And that's what I said, wasn't it? I said, look, it's really simple. Cook more, eat more fresh food, cut out the processed food. And you said to me, I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
And then I said, that's what I do, which is help time-poor women embrace healthy eating habits by getting them to change the way they feel about cooking with simple, sustainable habits and techniques they can easily integrate into a busy life. And that is what I'm showing today.
I just feel that food just had so much control over my life ever since I was young. Like, so when I was 11, I weighed 11 stone, Paola, and I was thinking it's just going to go up every year because that's what happens. Right. Like, and mine was, I was going through a lot of childhood trauma and I would just overeat and that would be my way of coping. Yeah. And then I was this overweight young girl just with so many issues and stuff, and it's taken me a long time to shed and not be there. And then so for me, it's always had such a control on my life to everything that I've done. Like, I know we spoke off camera and I said I've had my first drink in 4 months. Yeah. I would have cancelled today because of like my self-hatred, the way I feel fat or I would have felt bloated, and it's taken me so long to just give myself space and grace with food. So much so that I would have convinced myself on like a Monday, I would just like water fast. So I'd starve myself a week, which I think most women do, or they can convince themselves they don't, be really good, and then they let themselves out, they go for a drink Friday, Saturday, especially young girls, and then you would just binge on a Sunday because your body's craving that.
The problem is that this whole, people's relationship with food is very much goal driven. They want like a result, right? That's very much, and obviously at the end of the day, we want healthy eating habits, but I don't know, for a lot of women that I speak to, it always comes down to weight loss. And the way I look at it is like sometimes, rather than focusing solely on having this goal, like I've got to lose weight, for me, that doesn't work.
I've got to take care of my body.
But it's also about, it's about a mindset. Brogan, it's literally about who do you want to be? What does Brogan want to be when it comes to her eating habits and her cooking? It's not about necessarily the end result. It's a lifestyle change. Yeah. It's a lifestyle change rather than an end goal.
I picked up on it once. It's like, and I know you don't think I'm mental, but there might be people who are listening who are mental, but I don't really give a fuck, think I'm mental. The energy that comes when you make your food, like we could make, well, we're making a few things here, but if I go and do that versus me getting in a restaurant and it going through this whole different process from all these different people, the energy of touching my food, and they use different oils, don't they? Like all this, we could get into this, but all this rapeseed oil shit. Yeah. But the energy it gets and the love and care that you put into your food.
Absolutely.
So like when I have my son, like I just don't give him any of these microwave, even the oven foods. And like some of the mums are like, oh, it's just oven. And I'm like, nah. I would rather him, and again, come for me mums, rather have like olives and cheese and just pure foods that are that.
So that's interesting. You know that your son deserves the best. So now we've got to change that mindset. And
but I wasn't willing to do that for myself, was I?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Easy food.
But that's what I mean. I always say when it comes to cooking, you need to treat yourself like your own best mate. If you're having someone come round, you want them to eat the best food, you want them to be pleasured by it, they want them to be happy, but you also want them to make them feel good. And that is what cooking should be about, not just for other people or your children. I always say this to my clients who have kids. I know you've got to feed them, but you've also got to think about yourself and how the food's going to make you feel, because that affects your mood, your energy, your productivity. And what you were saying before, Brogan, energy. Cooking isn't energy. Cooking is a fantastic, positive energy. The problem is we're in a society now where cooking, especially in the UK, especially if you're trying to hustle and really make it in London, we've got all these solutions. There's all solutions about, you can have takeaway, you can have ready meals, you can have delivery boxes, all of that sort of stuff. But what that's happened in the last few years is that it's disconnecting people with food. You're disconnecting with it. You're seeing it as fuel rather than anything else.
And you lose the social part of it. But let's get into the social part. Right, so what are we cooking first?
Right, so I think we're just going to do what you suggested. Let's just go, let's just
do it all.
We're going to do it all, and we're going to just do bits and bobs. I've never done this before, but...
We're in it.
I feel like you can keep up with me.
Yeah. Come on.
So let's get the sausage ragu on the go.
Okay, so what do you need?
Garlic, we're going to chop those up. I'm going to show you how to chop up an onion like a frigging demon.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Do we need goggles?
No.
We don't need goggles.
No.
Let me get the kombucha out. We're going to need it.
Chilli flakes. I need your chilli flakes, babes.
Yeah, I'll get those.
Sausages. I didn't want to... So usually I put bacon in this as well and cream, but I wanted to do I wanted to do like a healthier version today, so...
Okay. Chilli flakes.
Right. Onions. Right. So... Sometimes people really find cooking stressful because they just find the whole prepping and chopping thing like a real pain in the arse, right?
Like Jessie.
People get really...
But like, so even when we went to the supermarket, I just want to say, like, we went to the supermarket and I was like, oh, that's peeled and chopped. And you're like, no, that's not what we're going to do. Because it's so right, though, isn't it? Because if I chop an apple, like, I threw it in the bin. There was like a fruit salad in the fridge that my friend had bought. Like, and the apple was still like going brown, and it's like, but it'd been in there for like a week. Like, if you cut something fresh now, it's going to go off within the next hour or two. So, like, what is it even in the fresh fruits to keep that alive? They put like sugar juice in it.
They put anything, right? So, I'm going to show you this tip. Chop that off. Actually, I'm going to get you to do it because I'm not going to do it. Right, you chop that off. You always chop off. Right, so I always say that's the root and that's the hairy butt.
I feel like an adult.
Right, no.
Oh.
You're going to slice that through the middle.
Yeah.
This is how the professionals do it, my beloved.
With the skin on, yeah?
Take the skin off.
Mine's blown, folks, yeah. Oh, then take the skin off.
Take the skin off.
Shall I show you what I would have done? Or not?
Well, you can if you want.
I would have done that.
No, you've messed it up already.
Oh. Okay.
Right, so let me show you this one because I'm going to show you the reason why. So what you do is you slice towards you. You don't slice through the root because you want to keep it all beautifully intact. Then, look. You hold the two ends like that, right, and then you just do that, and then you've got beautifully flined, diced onion. That's why you need to keep the bloody
bowl. It holds it together.
Yeah. So do you want to finish doing that? Where's your bin? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all this because I like a tidy kitchen.
Good.
Actually, it's quite nice to walk in here and it's nice and clean because that's another reason why people struggle to cook.
So do I? Yeah, okay.
People like don't have a kitchen that like motivates them to cook because it might be a bit messy or it's not arranged a certain way. So that's very, very important. Right, go for it.
Brogan's way, your way.
I mean, can you see why you've got to keep the root on it? Right, remember for next time.
Of course.
Okay, so we're going to, let's get this, actually let's do the garlic. Chop up a garlic.
Yeah, so hold on, let me get this off the board because it's going to annoy me. So I would do that and do this.
Can do, but we're going to do a few cloves, so you can
Oh, I love garlic though. Can't I just put them in whole?
You can, but we'll definitely peel them though. So if we can put as much garlic as you want.
Yeah, just do the whole thing. Yeah, no.
That's another thing. I think
she's like, you're fucking up my recipe.
No, because that's the thing. Do you know what I say to my clients?
Well, hold on, the onion's getting my eyes. Should we bin it? No. Not bin it, put it in the thing.
Do you know what? Can you switch on the hob for me?
Yeah, which one? The garlic? Whole?
Let's get if you want it whole, I mean so a little tip, the more garlic flavour you want, the smaller you chop it up. If you want a mild garlic flavour, you put it in whole like that.
So we'll put some whole and then cut some up small was my thought process. So what's your journey? How have you ended up here?
Well, my journey, I'll tell you, I did not start in the world of cooking.
Yeah.
I actually worked in fashion for some high-end fashion companies, about 15 years. I worked in corporate. I was in buying and merchandising, but I like every person. I feel like a lot of women that can relate to this. When you're working in corporate and busy, you're trying to be successful. I completely lost myself to the job. Like I got a really toxic relationship. But if I dig a little bit deeper, the reason why I had a toxic relationship is because I had an emotional, abusive relationship in my early 20s. That completely, I lost my confidence in myself. I didn't believe in myself. This person made me believe that I wasn't worth much. Luckily, I got out of that relationship. But for me to feel validated in myself, I wanted to be really successful at my job. Yeah. So I just became...
I think a lot of women, you know, have you ever met a woman of like our age who's not had a broken heart or a dick that think they're not good enough and it's not made them go out there and get it?
I just remember just throwing myself into my job, working late nights. It was job, 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 job. Do you know what I used to eat? I used to eat crap. I used to live even living above my dad's deli. My dad had an Italian deli in London for 20 years. I lived above it, still wanted all the ready-made sauces, still wanted I wanted it easy because in my mind...
Is that right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Shall I put the onion
I've never
in?
Seen so much. Can you actually chop some of that garlic up for me,
Oh,
please?
okay. Was there not more?
I mean, I only put 1 clove in, but we're doing it Brogan's way.
Yeah.
And do you know what I always say to my clients? I'm here as a guide. I hate dictating recipes to people because I'm like, it's got to be about you and what you love.
Yeah.
That's what makes food pleasurable.
Yeah,
and if you're cooking food that you want to actually eat, you're going to want to eat it again. That is one of the ways that you can create a positive mindset in the kitchen, is actually cooking food that you know you're going to freaking love.
Do I need olive oil in there?
Yeah, we are going to put olive oil in now. Is it on?
Yeah. Probably, I think... Yeah, I couldn't.
We've done the opposite way round, but it's fine.
I thought that because olive oil got a bad rep for a little while, didn't it?
I don't really know why. I think it's because I honestly sometimes think it's like food companies trying to sell their product.
Oh my God, I'm having this conversation on Thursday with someone. Okay, what did you need?
Salt, please. A little tip for you: when you fry your onions and you want to get them nice and soft and gently cook them, a little pinch of salt if you don't mind, Brogan.
Is that a pinch or not?
Nice, get a little bit more.
My sister always says that though, so you don't used to go like have a handful of nuts, yeah?
Yeah.
I used to get as much in my hand as I could, and she's like, no, not a Brogan handful. And this kombucha stuff is meant to be really, really good for the gut.
I do love the kombucha.
Should we have a go?
Yes, please.
What would you like?
What have you got for me?
Sunset hot masala. Do you want to try that? Strawberry basil.
Yeah, that's a bit of me.
Okay, and that's got immune health. Let's try that.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to try ginger. That's quite nice, isn't it?
Oh, that is good. So I was saying to you before, like my story. So basically, threw myself into my job. Was like everything and everything. Eating habits, cooking habits. Essentially, my self-care did not exist. I did not know what self-care was.
So when I had a job in a massive corporation as well, like self-care, you would have been deemed, I don't want to use the word selfish, but like basically unemployable. If you'd have gone, no, I need to take a lunch break for an hour. I don't think I can say who I used to work for, but it's like one of the biggest companies in the world. Like we used to have Starbucks in our building, the dry cleaners in our building, gym in the building, everything. So the whole idea is that you wouldn't have to leave this building, right?
You just basically, which is how they trap you.
Yeah, and then if you were like, oh, I'm taking an hour, like back then everyone would go like, she's a slacker. Like if you'd gone like, oh, I'm leaving at 5. I
know. Like, honestly, work lunches didn't even exist when I was obviously in the younger rung of in corporate world. But when I became a manager, basically, I got to a point where I was working, like shocking. Yeah, we'll do chocolate. We're going to take the skins off first.
Why?
This is weird. It's a bit of a weird procedure.
Oh, the skin off the sausage?
Yeah. We're going to crumble it in.
Oh, my mind's
So rather than use mince, crumbling sausage meat, there's no shit in here because you know the butchers have done a really, like, this is the good stuff. And you don't want the skin because it means you get large lumps. You want a nice little, but we'll see. So yeah, essentially, I will definitely say I was burnt out, I was stressed, and I'm very comfortable to say, obviously it's taken me a long time to realise, but I did suffer from mental health issues because I was so burnt out and overworked.
Yeah.
And looking back now, right, do you want me to show you how to skin it? Well, you go on.
This is what I would have thought.
Yeah. So yeah.
What is the skin?
I don't know, sometimes they can be like intestines or something.
No, and then we just mash it up,
no? Give it to me.
Oh. God, no. It's a lot of sausage, but I can freeze
That's what I mean. I feel like we should maybe only do like 2, 4, 5, and then you can
freeze the rest of the sausages.
Right. What we're going to do, get your board out. Let's just skin them all, and then we're going to chop them up, and then we're going to put them in there.
I'll just put them there, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
See, so if all else fails, I can be a sausage peeler.
Essentially, I was in a really, really bad place. Then one day, my dad decided that he wanted to sell the deli. So this was like our livelihood, even though I lived behind it, lived above it for so many years. But
and this was where in London?
This was in Battersea, Clapham Junction, don't know, Northcote Road. It was my dad's deli. Like, it wasn't just a deli. My dad's deli fed a whole community for 20 years.
Why do you want to get rid of it?
Well, if you want to go down that route.
Yeah, no.
Like business rates, you know, all that sort of stuff, the cost of food. It just basically it got too expensive. My dad was like, I don't feel right charging more for this because it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then my dad had to end up working 7 days a week, and it just got too much. And for his health and for his health and mental state, he had to get rid of it.
Was this pre or post COVID?
This is 2011 when he shut it down.
Oh, okay. So what happens next?
In terms of what, sausage or my life?
Your dad?
My dad sells it, and basically I had a knee-jerk reaction at the time, thinking, because that's when I got pesto from my dad, I got tomato sauce from my dad, all the sausages from my dad, everything. I didn't have to think about going to a food shop, really, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And if I did cook anything, it was like the same 3 boring dishes day in, day out, because I had that mentality. Yeah. I want to be successful.
I don't have time for this.
Do you know what I used to think? I'm too good to cook. Cooking isn't for someone like me that wants to be successful and like all of that. No, you don't.
For people with time and not achieving.
Like self-care, like what is that? Like I ain't got time for that. Like, you know, if you really want to make it in life, you've got to like work your sacrifice all that.
And like, isn't it so funny that something so basic as fueling your own body?
But we're not taught that. Like the culture here, we're not taught that.
Kids aren't taught in school how to cook.
They should.
We eat 3, or in the UK, most kids have got their hand in the mouth, like most of us, 8 times a day.
To be honest, when I think about home economics, when I grew up, it wasn't that great. Like, you learned how to make a bloody pineapple upside down cake, or like, I don't feel like I learned actual skills, but it did, I guess, start my relationship with food and cooking when I was at school, but then it kind of disappeared straight when I went to university. I mean, I cooked myself some food at university, but wasn't really a cook, but I do feel like in the UK we should definitely be teaching kids like techniques and stuff.
So okay, so this is what I would have done.
Do you show me what you would do? I know, but I don't feel there's any love going into that.
No, but I'm speeding it up. Look. No, same result. No.
Look at mine. Look at yours.
Yeah, but what if I cut in the middle?
Sometimes you've got to make boo-boos to realise how to.
Yeah. So I'll take satisfaction. So look, crumble.
Right, we're gonna cook all that down. I feel that pan might not even be big enough, but we'll try. Kids need to have a better relationship with food, and we're living in a society where everything is.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, like obviously you haven't got children, but the first thing they say, snack, and like as well, like if you're that fulfilled nutritionally, you don't need to eat in between meals.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
These kids eating bags, listen, even I feed them, it's not even that bad, but like raisins and crackers and all that, it's like, but it's not real food. No. Full of sugar anyway.
Honestly, in Italy, do you know what? You never see parents cook separately. The kids eat what the adults eat from a very, very young age. They sat at the table with their mum and dad eating the same food. From an early age, their connection with food is so different. And like even at schools, the way they eat, it's like proper lunchtime. It's like a day
social
thing. And so from a young age, children build up this really good rapport with food, with cooking. They understand, and even like the food that's produced in the schools out in Italy, like some of them are it's just amazing. All fresh produce, local produce, all that sort of stuff.
But it's like, have you seen that thing on Netflix where they have all like the blue zones and stuff?
Yes.
It's like, one of the biggest things for the longevity is the community that comes with the food. What's your thoughts on the old air fryer?
I mean, if it helps people, saves time and things like that, then I'm not totally against it. I just personally think, again, it's another utensil, another machine speeding up the cooking process, and I just feel like, again, it makes people lazy. I'm not totally against it. I think I don't have space for one. I'd rather not use it. But I don't like fried food, so I don't cook fried food. Do you know what I mean?
So my thing is that I just think for a lot of women, their value comes on the way that they look, and that's not me passing any judgment. I've been one of them.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's so difficult. And I've been in that situation. I don't know if you struggled so badly with dieting, like, oh, that looks like... Do you know how many times I've gone round my friend's house and they've cooked dinner and I'll be like, no, like they've made a bolognese. Oh, I'll just have the meat, and then I eat everything else in the cupboard after. Like,
so this is
give yourself, enjoy the small bit.
Brogan, do you know what it is? If you demonise food, if you eliminate food, you're going to demonise it, and then when you do go and eat it, the problem is if you go and eat that food that you've demonised in your mind, when you go to eat it, you feel bad. You end up feeling bad and guilty because you've eaten it.
My mate said to me, she was like, you could have just had the pasta with the rest of us, you bet a bag of popcorn, pretty much a thing of celebrations, And I could never really have seen a way out of it until I got pregnant. And like I say, used to like convince myself to walk faster on a Monday. And do you know what I realised? And it wasn't until I was in therapy, but everything that I would eat was cold.
But why?
So, I just never realised till after, because I would make a celery juice in the morning and blueberries, and that would be in the car with me, and the most rancid, vile protein shake. Go, boo.
Right, a little bit of red wine.
Red wine.
There's no booze in this, but it gives just flavour. Wine should always be in your store cupboards.
Okay.
Hands down, red and white. Red, I like to cook with red meat, obviously. White, always with fish and chicken or even vegetables. It just imparts a lovely flavour. Sorry. We're going to let it cook for a little bit. We're going to let it reduce that down, and then we're going to add the tomatoes in. Yeah, and then we're going to cook this with this, and then we're going to let that sit and then let it do its thing, and we'll do something else afterwards.
I just think I can speak on so many people's behalf when it's like your value comes. How I felt is that literally I would put my weight. If I'd weighed myself and I was half a stone less on the Friday than the Monday, I'd be skipping out.
You're connecting your weight with your self-worth.
100%. So when I realised that everything that I ate was cold, I was like, what? And when I first went into therapy, she was like, Rara, go home, sit on the sofa. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, get a blanket. I was like, what blanket? So many basic stuff that I never had, even growing up.
In terms of self-care.
Yeah, and I was never really had massively cared for.
But we've all done it. If we've been traumatised in the past, and if you're working really hard.
I would go home though, and I didn't know what it was like to have a blanket on the sofa.
So you didn't grow up with that?
No, I didn't grow up with that. So what I'm saying is, I was like, what do you mean? Because I came from a high achieving family. Oh, if you've got time for the TV, you're not good enough. What are you doing? You should be out there doing stuff. So I never watched television. So I never had a blanket. I never done those kind of things. And then when I got pregnant, I was so scared of putting on weight, and I don't really care what anyone else says. And I was like, fuck, how am I going to control this? Because I've controlled my weight by basically not eating on a Monday, yeah? And exercising, and I was so violently sick. And it's the only thing that healed my relationship with food, because I had to listen to my body. I had to eat when I was hungry. And you almost then didn't want to go and binge, because I didn't want my unborn child to have bags of Maltesers for breakfast. Yeah. And it's like, and we don't trust ourselves. I didn't trust myself. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to become this thing. And but your body knows so much more already.
Food is not just fuel. Food is like the basis of having basis of really good well-being. It improves your physical health, it improves your mental health. These are things that we do not learn from an early age. We always just perceive that food is something that we eat, stops the stomach rumbling, all that sort of stuff. But actually,
it's a means to an end. Yeah,
a means to an end. And we forget, I look at the difference now, when I didn't used to eat properly compared to now, which is obviously put that in now. I just want to taste actually before we put it in. Could you give me a fork, please?
Is that cooked though?
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah. Sausage meat doesn't take that long to cook. You just want it now to all sit in the flavours. I'm going to put this all in.
Everyone in here is drooling today.
But yeah, no, food is a form of self-care. We need to stop thinking of it as fuel. Food is a way to love ourselves. I always say food is the ultimate love language, whether for yourself or for other people. It fuels your mind, it fuels your body, it gives you energy, it makes you productive. It helps with brain fog if you eat really, really well. It helps with sleep. It makes me happy. When you're eating certain foods, you get dopamine. Do you know what I mean? The idea of you're going to cook something delicious and get that dopamine up.
As well, I think you can get some really good memories, I know it's completely different, but when my son and I made the chocolate Rice Krispie Easter cakes, it just brought back stuff of being a kid or having them in school. It's
nice even doing that together. Do you know what I mean? Doing something together. Right. We might have to get those garlics out later, because you're not going to want to eat. Well, unless you want to eat a whole clove. Okay, fine.
Yeah. I'm basically, is it what they call Draculas? Witch? Vampires? I'm a vampire.
Basically, you were saying that when you were pregnant, you knew that you needed to change the way that you felt about food.
And I thought I was having a girl, and I didn't want to carry what I've carried. And also, I don't think that the more people are starting to speak about it now, I don't think I'm one of the. I think to a degree, all women have had, some kind of, what's it called? Self-image issues. I don't remember. Have a bowl of Special K 3 times a day for 2 weeks, and then you can wear your red swimsuit, or you can't.
That is basically it until it's got cooked now.
Okay. Do you want me to put that in the corner?
Does it have a lid? And also we need it to come up to the simmer and a boil. That's not the lid, is it? No. Nah. That's all right. We'll just do it without the lid then. We're going to bring it to the boil. Then we'll put salt on it, and then we'll put the pasta in it. Right. Okay.
And that goes with that.
So we'll cook the pasta, and that just goes with that, and that's it.
Okay. Cool.
So what we finish it off.
My son's going to be so excited.
We finish it off with a bit of seasoning and a bit of parmesan, and that is it.
Okay, we're excited for this one, folks. Yeah. Is it like a bolognese?
It is like a bolognese. I remember you saying to me, your son likes bolognese. Oh. This is a quick version of a bolognese because a real bolognese takes 4 hours. Takes 4 hours. Everyone thinks you can do it in half an hour. A proper bolognese you can't do in half an hour. But this is like wash this off. This is my version, and this is literally one of my. This is the dish that I feel like converts a lot of people because they're like, oh my god, this tastes this good, and it didn't take that long at all. And I'm like, yep.
Should I put it down or not?
We'll take it down, yeah.
1, 2, 4.
You can always tell by the noise and by the bubbles.
That freaks me out with me having white on. So I thought that was super simple.
Wasn't it?
So what I would have done pre-you is basically fried the onions. I mean, like, hurry up.
Which we did do.
No, but I mean, I would have put them on 8, but you had them on like 4. They simmered.
You simmered because you want it to be, right, Italians say you want to taste the onion, but you don't want to feel the onion. You need to gently soften it so it softens it, so it gives you that beautiful onion flavour, but you don't want to eat raw bits of onion.
Yeah, and I think what's so important about all the food and stuff we've got here, you can pronounce it. All of this is just single ingredient.
Yeah.
Like, when you go in places, like, you can't pronounce what the fuck's on the back of the tin, like when we looked at the cornflakes and the Weetabix, all this kind of shit. Like, it's quite simple. Right, what we got next?
Right, let's do...
Cooking chef.
This is Italian chicken and potato one pot wonder. That's what I think we should do. I'm going to give you a little tip on how to pan fry chicken. All right, let's put a little bit. Do you want to put a little bit of oil in that pan for me, please?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're going to pan fry.
So all of these would last for how long in the fridge or freezer?
This freezer 3 months. If you literally like divide it up, make sure it's obviously cooled down. Do not put it in the freezer when it's hot. You've got to wait till it's cooled down, otherwise that's going to create bacteria.
Okay.
This 2-3 days in the fridge.
Okay.
Whenever you've got pepper as well, my love.
Yeah. I hope so.
Perfect. Right, little tip, because obviously we don't want soggy chicken skin, do we? How do you feel about eating chicken skin?
Yeah, don't bother me.
Okay, so we want really, really nice, crispy chicken skin.
Yeah, I agree.
And this, you cannot rush this.
So does this go hot then?
That gets really hot.
Oh, you want piping?
So I would say 7 or an 8. Let's do 8.
Because we rock and roll.
You need to dry the chicken skin.
Okay.
Because we want all the moisture taken out of it. And then we're going to season these bad boys. Is this the only salt you've got, like these thicker coarse? Okay. If I would say also get yourself some really fine salt because it'll be easier for the.
But isn't that meant to be bad for you?
No. If it's sea salt, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Just grind.
Just always get. So this is great because it's sea salt.
Yeah, because I had it in the grinder, but I lost the grinder. I love the smell of olive oil, you know.
You've got to go down to Puglia because that is where a lot of olive oil is made. I'm literally surrounded by olive trees. Olive oil, yeah. It's so pretty. To be surrounded, I'll tell you what, I think being living in Italy 6 months of the year and actually seeing how a country and its relationship with its own food and produce, I think that's what's helped
It's like a healing energy though, isn't it?
It's just beautiful,
it's
like
that
appreciation.
Whole, farm to table thing.
Yeah.
It's like we're getting meats that like Wagyus from Japan, this, that, and it's like, there's nothing like, if you actually think about the life cycle.
I think we also underestimate that we are really lucky that we're in a country where you can literally get hold of any ingredient at any time of year. Again, Italians, a lot of Mediterranean countries, they eat seasonally. So that what they eat in December and November, they're not going to eat in June and July. Because what is actually available is completely different. Right? That's the sizzle you want. You want it.
Right. Am I doing it upside down?
Yeah, you've got to put the skin down first.
Oh, okay. I bet the Italians don't use, one sec, just setting the house on fire. See, look, you can see how unfamiliar I am with this. Did you say pepper?
Yeah. We're gonna put a whole load of garlic in. This needs a whole bulb in it.
I bet they don't use rapeseed oils and veg oils and all that crap.
No.
And it's everywhere, like, even especially in London, like, because I've been so aware of it recently, when I've been going into places, I'm like, oh, have you got, can I have it without the rapeseed oil or the sunflower oil? And it's like, oh no, it's in the butternut squash side. It's in the Caesar salad dressing, like, It's in everything. Obviously, I don't need to say twice that obviously, like, the chips and stuff all do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, again, we've just created all these different oils, I don't know, for whatever reason, get convinced of this and that. And essentially, olive oil's been around for like hundreds and hundreds of years. It's like, because it's a fat, again, people are, oh, it's bad for you. It's a really healthy, it's a healthy fat. It's really important for you. Like, we're actually going to chuck it in with the paper. Actually, no, let's chuck it without.
Why not? Come on.
Let's just do it in, because it's just like, we just want to give this loads of flavour. Let's put, you love garlic, right?
I love garlic.
Let's just chuck it in.
I've got a Greek friend, he loves garlic.
Let's get the potatoes out. Let's chop
you want
up
potatoes?
Yes, please. We're not going to peel them, but we are going to give them a nice little wash though, Brogan, because...
Yeah, I'll wash them.
Yeah.
So what I like about this, it's one pot, because like what we were saying earlier, Jess, we don't like the mess. Right, quarters?
I'll tell you.
Or like this?
Yeah, love that side. We don't want too big. Smaller it is, the quicker it's going to be. Don't put it in yet. No. Just chop it.
Sorry.
Just chop up for me.
Yeah.
Again, that could actually be in half. We want.
Oh, right, this is my bag.
Okay. Listen, I want you to take your time.
Right,
chopping.
That's the bit that gets me.
But do you know what?
But I think that's just because I'm so chaotic and everything in my life is so chaotic.
But cooking can be a form of self-care and mindfulness. This is the time you can actually disconnect from, just for 5-10 minutes from everything that's going on in your life.
Yeah.
Just do a little bit of chopping.
And it's so funny, I get that with folding the washing.
We have this perception that for you to cook well, you need to be in a really nice big kitchen with all the comms and all of that. No.
Or you can be like me, folks, and have one knife. I was like, we can just wash the knife. How did you get back connected to food?
So we go back to the story. I was burnt out, stressed, mental health issues.
Like most of your British population.
Yes, exactly. And my dad decided to sell the deli. At this point, I knew there was something not right with me. I knew that I wasn't happy. Like deep down, I knew that I wasn't happy. I wasn't facing my issues. I was just throwing myself into work, working late. Dad sold the deli, realised that I had to buy all the food that I grew up on. And I was like, where am I going to get my tomato sauce from? Where am I going to get the pesto from? So one night, I was like, rather than going to the pub and eating 2 bags of crisps and 3 pints, which is what I used to do my dinner sometimes as well, I went, do you know what? I think tonight I'm going to skip the pub. I'm going to go to Waitrose and get myself a tin of tomatoes. I'm going to make spaghetti and tomato. Simple dish, but one of my favourites. Looked up this recipe, how do I make a really good tomato sauce? Then I realised, I was like, oh, is it that simple? Made it, sat down, had it, and I was so blown away. I know it sounds mad, but I was so blown away at how good it tasted that I had done it.
Yeah.
I had made myself this bowl of tomato sauce with the spaghetti. Might turn it down, yeah.
Turn it over?
Let's have a look. Let's give it one, turn it back over again.
For a couple more minutes,
I want to get it really nice and brown.
Okay, yeah.
So it was just that. It was like, oh, holy shit, like that actually wasn't that difficult, and it didn't take me that long to do. Okay, that's it. A few days later, I was like, oh, I wonder how hard it would be to make a pesto. All right, let me look up how to make a pesto. All right, okay, I just need those ingredients. It took me 2 minutes, and I ate it. I was like, oh my God, it's even better than the one that my dad used to sell. Then my dad would come and stay with me sometimes in the evening, like when he was closing up the shop. Yeah. There'll be sometimes when me and my dad would have dinner together and I'd be like, Dad, I'll make you whatever. And my dad would say to me, he would go, that's really good. And I was like, is it? But I was like, he's just saying that to me because he loves me.
Yeah.
But over time, the more I cooked and actually realised and practiced it. But do you know what? I wasn't practising 3-course meals. I wasn't practising how to make like dauphinoise potato and like slow cooked lamb. I was just cooking the dishes that I had grown up with, that my family had taught me, or not even taught me, that I'd seen being made in front of me in Italy, or my mum's dishes. Started trying to make them for myself and realised it's not that hard. So eventually, I started to lose weight. Eventually, yes, put salt in it first. Eventually, I started losing weight. Wasn't my intention, but I looked at.
It's a byproduct of eating healthy, unprocessed food.
I was so blown. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a tiny girl, but I've grown up to embrace my curves now and everything because I'm a healthy person. I don't get ill because of the way I eat and my self-care and all of that.
Were you getting ill before when you're in the corporate world?
Yeah, I think I was. I think I was like bad cold.
So this is another thing that I don't know how to do.
I used to suffer really bad from UTIs. really bad UTIs. I kept on always having to go to the doctor every 3 months to get antibiotics. And it was all down to what I was eating. What are we doing there, Brogan?
I don't know,
I'm kind of letting you, because I don't want to like dictate how to put pasta in, but you've got to be careful because the water's going to splash.
All right,
so
go on, you put pasta.
Let me do it.
The chicken's looking great though.
Yeah, so we're going to put the potatoes in now, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put those potatoes in now and see if we need any more.
Do you want any more olive oil in there?
No, don't need any more olive oil.
Some we'll all have the pasta and the bit, so put a fair bit on. You guys will have the pasta and the lamb.
Right, another little tip. When you're cooking pasta,
don't leave any in the pot.
what you've got to do is always check how long. So this one, I think it says
14, 15
14-15 minutes. If you want really good al dente pasta, so al dente means pasta with a nice bite. You don't want to overcook it. You don't want it to be like soggy because otherwise the gluten will build up. It'll hurt your tummy. Always check the packet, and I always cook it 1 minute less.
Okay.
Just to make sure I check it 1 minute less.
My son would love it if here because he goes cooking chef. I'm cooking chef.
Bless him. So that's how I started it was just basically trial and testing a few recipes. Started enjoying the fact that I was making myself happy with food. Then I reckon after about 3 months I started to notice the results. So I still go to the pub with my mates and have a drink, but I wasn't going like as regularly as I was. I was actually spending my money on better produce, on ingredients, because I realised that I had been blessed for so many years to live.
Isn't it mad? Like, I say to people, oh, I'll go cryo in the sauna. Like, that's expensive. How much money are you lot spending going out sniffing and drinking wine and vodka, and you're worried about what I'm paying for cryo?
But this is the thing, it's people's priorities. It's the priorities that we have in life.
Yeah. You've got all that expensive. Is it when it's giving you your health? And like this was the thing, like I've got to be honest, like even when I was doing that meal prep thing, which is like how we ended up connecting.
Yeah.
So expensive.
It's more expensive than.
And it doesn't. How is it going to taste nice? So they deliver on a Sunday and they have them on a day. Listen, it was fine, but I've got a real bugbear against the whole microwave. Yeah, cancers, the whole lot, and I can't unsee that after the people I've interviewed. And I was grown up really anti-microwave, and you've got to heat it all up.
It's gross. I feel like microwaves should be banned, personally.
I think they will in our lifetime, you know.
Because I think they'll start to realise, if they're starting to realise that ultra-processed food and processed food is the cause for 32 deadly human diseases, microwave is going to be like, it's going to be next, I'm telling you. I do think air fryers are actually healthier than microwaves.
I saw this thing, right? And you know, like here, so it had the plug, okay, cool. And they poured, well, like physically, so if I poured Coca-Cola into this,
yeah,
and Moam, and squash, and chocolate, and crisp. These brothers will be dead tomorrow, yeah?
Can I tell you something? You know,
but we give it water,
yeah,
and we talk to it nicely,
yeah.
Because you forget that's part of it as well, right? Because they do these experiments where they've got the plants. Do you know what I'm going to do it? You've got the plants that are being spoken to nicely, and the plants that have had, because it's the same vibration and the energy of anger, poorly. It's like, and it starts to swell. Like you are subconsciously saying to yourself, "You are enough." That you are worthy of your own time to make for yourself. Like you said to me, that I wouldn't want to, might lose a couple of fake teeth. Done it.
There we go. Right.
Joking.
But I love what you're saying about that, is how you treat something. The energy you give someone is the energy you're going to give back. Yeah. If you're not going to put good energy into your food and cooking, you're not going to get that reflected back in yourself.
And from anyone else.
Right, we'll put a bit of wine.
Right, baby.
Right.
Okay, I would not have known how to do this. I can't believe how simple this is.
And we're going to lower this down to a nice, gentle simmer.
What's a gentle simmer?
Like,
because my gentle and your gentle are two different things here, Paola.
Let's do 3, let's do 4, and then we'll take it from there. I just want to clean it all up. We actually do need to cover that. So we may, I know what we're going to use. Look, we're going to just use what we've got. We're going to use a tin.
Yeah, baby. Just turn it upside down.
So this, we're going to see, we need to leave this for another 15 minutes. I want to taste it.
15?
Another 15 minutes. We don't have any mint, but we can just...
I do have mint.
Mints?
Yep.
Mint? Fresh mints, as in fresh mint?
Yep.
Do you?
Yeah, babe, because I have fresh mint tea.
Oh, nice. Right, so in the meantime, let's chop up our herbs and our olives to put into the chicken and quarter our tomatoes. So we need our sage, we need rosemary, we need parsley, we need black olives, we need cherry. We're going to do a little bit of chopping.
I'm going to just go boom, boom, boom.
No, Brogan, we're going to take it.
Oh, can we do it in like 30 seconds, no? No? Just boom, boom.
I'm a self-care cookery teacher for a reason.
Okay, no. Oh yeah, I got a couple of those chops that look nice. Right, let's move my plants and the way I talk to them.
You're too funny. Let's move this out of the way.
Shall I tell you what I would have done?
Yeah, you show me, and then.
So, this is cooking with Brogan. Sage gets rid of bad spirits, folks.
And then
parsley. How much time? Can we not? Okay.
Yep.
Time? Yeah.
Yep. About
Sage.
not too much. 'Cause that's really strong. So maybe like 2 or 3.
Because I do that to burn away the spirits. That too much.
I would say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it is very very strong.
So obviously cooking with Brogan. Yeah.
Should we move that?
But also, my thought process is: do we need to cut it?
So basically, before you.
No,
I'm going to tell you.
I feel like I'm gardening. Is that right? Ish?
You should have taken the herbs off the sprigs because you've got wood in there now.
Oh. But we can pick them out when it cooks, don't we?
But then we lose time.
Oh,
see what I mean? So you're trying to do it quickly, and now we've got to go and take all the sprigs out.
I've got wood in my trees.
Right, we've got a lot of herbs. But what I would do
might be too heavy.
This is how you do it, right? You get that. You just literally tear them. This is really not working.
But I think my method works better.
No, but look, you just
all you can do, Brogan, is you can just chop up.
You just tear it off. You just tear it off, and then you chop it with a little bit of love. Because if you're not putting love in your food, it's not going to taste good.
Yeah, they're two different. Oh wait, there's a bit of a tree.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Brogan's there.
Look, even like this, you just like get it.
Oh yeah. I could chop that smaller though. Oh yeah, because it's a bit woody, isn't it?
So if you get the olives for me, we can start chopping those up.
Green, no, red, wasn't it?
The black ones.
That's it, black ones. Oh, another thing. When I eat, I can't help but eat as I go.
But that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We shouldn't be shaming ourselves for doing stuff like that. Like, it's all part of cooking. It's all part of enjoying your food. I'm going to get the sieve.
I was rushing it in while she wasn't looking at the wood.
So I'll tell you about the 3 main things that I noticed when I started cooking. Was obviously I was eating healthier, so I was feeling better about myself.
How many olives?
I was just, how much do you love olives?
Yeah, my son loves olives.
Just chuck a load in. So I was starting to feel a lot better. I looked better. I felt better. I had more energy. Like I said, I lost weight. I was very swollen.
You haven't got to tell me, mate. I look like I've swallowed a hamster earlier.
If you saw pictures of me, like I said, I know I'm not I know I'm not a small woman, but my face, everything, I was just like bloated, so bloated from all the booze, from all the late nights, not sleeping well, just really unhealthy.
Sleep is so important.
So I noticed that my health massively improved.
I imagine.
Secondly,
just trying to keep my fingers as I go.
Like I said to you before, I mean, I know you're attacking the herbs because you want to rush through it really quickly.
Yeah.
But I found that by cooking, you know, if I was cooking for like an hour, or let's say half an hour after work, I would be so present. I was so excited about cooking my food that I would actually stop thinking about work.
Okay, so this is where I need to come in with the... When you're a mum,
yeah,
really hard to be present, like with that, when you've
got
the mercy of that, and like, obviously I've ended up with the dog as well, and it's like, I don't think there's going to be anything romantic about me chopping this up, because I just imagine me like, just everyone sit down. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel as romantic.
I know it doesn't, but that is something that doesn't come, it doesn't just happen. It comes with time. For me, it's about creating and learning how to cook really simple, quick, delicious meals that you then want to re-cook again. When you start to go, oh my God, I can't wait to cook this.
Yeah.
Then your mindset slowly starts to change. It doesn't just happen. It's not like, Brogan, you need to chop that with love and do it slowly and that's it and your mindset's going to change. It doesn't work like that. It has to build up slowly. Sustainable habits are about creating, it's like taking little baby steps to that end goal. Not even the end goal, that end Brogan that you want to be when it comes to food and cooking. Like, what do you want to be when it comes to cooking?
It'd be nice to pronounce what you've put in your body, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's as simple as that. And it's nice to know what's gone in. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, when we went to the restaurant, we found out that there was rapeseed oils in the butternut squash that I thought would have been a healthy side. Like, that's a fucking carcinogenic. Yeah. It's a type of fuel.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Especially if you eat a lot of it. Like if you
eat out every day.
And that's the problem. And that's why home cooking needs to stop. We need to stop demonising that cooking is for the people that only have time and energy. It needs to start being part of everyday life because, again, one of the benefits I have noticed from cooking is that I do eat better, I feel healthier, it's built my confidence up. I love myself a lot more for it. It's my way of loving myself. Is eating. It's a way of loving yourself. People do it because I want to be healthy and be nutritious. Yes, that is one way, but it is a great way of showing yourself self-love, especially if you're someone who has struggled with loving themselves. I used to struggle with love for myself.
And I think that's really common for women.
It's super common, more common than we actually allow it to be.
And do you know what? I shouldn't just say that about women, because I think the more I'm gone into the field and connecting with people, I think that speaks a lot for men too.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long would that chicken have been on for?
So that's been on for 20 minutes.
So I just want to talk through that again. So that was seared, essentially.
Essentially, you sear the fat, so it's nice and crispy.
And then it's been...
You add aromatics, which is the garlic. You've added the potatoes, because the potatoes have got to cook.
So how long was the potatoey bit? It's gone on to more of a simmer, hasn't it?
Yeah, but that's why you need to cover it, because you need the steam to cook it. If that didn't have
that's why when I said to Jess, can you smell that? And it was all let out, he was like, no.
Right, is that the pasta done, I think, isn't it?
You have to like throw it at the wall.
Absolutely not.
No.
Again, if it sticks on the wall, it's not good for you. It means it's the gluten's like
So why does pasta in Italy not make fish well, but pasta in the UK
because we know how to cook it in Italy. Right, do you want to taste it? Actually, no, let's put the parmesan into the tomato sauce.
She knows not to let me taste. So we've got the chicken going on.
I'm going to put a little bit of parmesan, look.
I love parmesan though, throw it in.
Look, this is one of my tips as well. When you make a nice tomato sauce, add a little bit of parmesan. It gives it a little bit of umami flavour. But I want you to taste it with the parmesan in. Like, I just literally just go free fall. I don't believe in like... Do it with, eat it with a parmesan.
Unreal. So I always thought parmesan goes on top. I didn't think it'd be like a core ingredient.
That's why you've got me here, babes.
More. Come. Yeah, more? No?
Yeah, do what you want.
More, yeah, if I'm sure, do more.
And actually, did you know parmesan's lactose free? For people that can't eat cheese, they should eat parmesan. It's really good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good for you. Parmesans. In Italy, they give kids blocks of parmesan to eat as a snack, rather than chocolate or crisp.
My son does that.
So good for you.
Not parmesan though, it's cheddar, but I'll get him parmesan.
No, but get him parmesan. Get in 36 or 48 months. It's the real mature stuff that's really, really good for you. Okay, so but I'm going to mix some of it like this so you get a nice coating. You cannot have beige pasta in a bowl. You've got to mix it up with a bit of sauce.
So I guess my question is,
yeah. Do you want me to
I've made one dinner.
Yeah, made one.
I should be fixed now, no? What happens now? Like, how long do you think realistically?
Oh, in terms of like changing the way that you feel? Personally,
somebody might do that and be like, do you know what? That was really easy. And then someone might do it and be like, oh, I ain't making that mess again. Like, what would you say people need to, like, to start seeing, like you did, the changes? Like,
I think for me is don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't give yourself too much to do. You know, with goals, the reason why goals and resolutions don't work is because you're required a huge drastic change. You want to go from like saying eating, like if you want to go vegan or plant-based, you go from eating all these meats to just eating vegetables, right? And it can feel quite difficult, or it can cause a bit of discomfort because you've really gone from A to Z, or you're trying to go to A to Z in a very short amount of time. With habits, it's about taking baby steps to inch you closer to the way you want to feel. So yeah, like some people go, oh my God, there's 3 dishes, there was so much mess, like I can't do that again. In theory, you're never going to make 3 dishes again in one night for yourself, right? I would always just say, set yourself small goals. Accessible goals that you feel you can easily do. Because at the end of the day, especially if you've got energy and you've got time and you're feeling good, it's easy to make
well, I think the biggest thing that we've took away from here is make a lot of it.
Make a lot of it, but also it hasn't taken that long.
No, it hasn't at all.
And you're using fresh ingredients.
That I know what they are.
You know what they are. You're in control of everything that's gone in there. You've prepped it yourself. And to get something like gorgeous
chicken.
So
you take control of your life back. Like if you can control what you put in your mouth, you could take control.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course it is. Well. But I always say for people, if you want to start off, just keep it really simple. You know, we always choose the path of least resistance, right? That is what we do. So I think creating an environment that makes you want to cook in it. So you've got a lovely kitchen here. You've got all the essentials. You don't need a lot to cook with it. For me, I love music. I know we can't play music today, but like create an environment. Put some music on. If you want a glass of wine, pour yourself a glass of wine. If you don't want to drink, make yourself a cup of tea. Get comfy. Get your slippers on, or get
that's
something.
what I would do, definitely.
You know, make it about you. Make it the whole experience about you.
And there's no right way to do it, I guess.
There is no right way. Everyone has different needs and desires.
Okay.
It's all about essentially what it is. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to end up in? Where do you see yourself in 3 months' time when it comes to cooking and eating? You can't expect to be the next Jamie Oliver in the next 3 months. But when it comes to healthy eating, it is about...
We all feel so powerless, like I haven't got time, but when something like that's been so simple and so nutritious, there's no excuse, is it?
There is no excuse, and this is something that I always try to show people to do. It's like eating well does not require a lot of time. It doesn't require expensive ingredients. It doesn't require complicated techniques. You can create the most amazing dishes. Like we've done 2 already, and you can see, like, if we hadn't been talking, they would have been done a lot quicker as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
okay, so let's start the third.